All right, now to the other big story we're following. The manhunt is back on in Alabama after a stunning admission from a local police department. Hoover police admitting the man they killed during a mall shooting Thanksgiving night likely was not responsible for 2 people being shot. Chaos broke out on one of the busiest shopping nights, and police say an altercation somehow escalated into a shooting that left 2 people hospitalized. A police officer then shot and killed 21-year-old Emantic Fitzgerald Bradford Jr., an armed man police originally believed was responsible for the shooting. Well, now police admit that Bradford was not the man who fired the shots, and the search is on for the actual gunman. CNN's Natasha Chen joins me now with more of this. And so it is a very confusing sequence of events. The information coming from the authorities is so spotty that it's also led to a lot of unrest. People are protesting there who are saying, we want more. This is strange.
Yes. And in the last few minutes, I got my very first response of the day from the state agency in charge of this investigation, suggesting that there's going to be more information sent soon. And in the last 30 minutes, we've also heard emotional speeches from the family and friends of Emantic Fitzgerald Bradford Jr., or EJ, they call him, the 21-year-old whom police shot and killed in this incident. And the gathering of protesters right now is in response to the police statement overnight, saying new evidence shows Bradford did not likely fire the shots that injured 2 other people. So let's hear from some of his family members.
This is not the way to say goodbye to EJ. That's right. Not with a bullet. That's right. Not in the back. That's right. What we need people to do is realize that while these black young men are walking around in the mall, whether they're carrying an arm or not, give them a chance to say what I'm doing with it.
He didn't deserve this. He really did not deserve it. They shot the wrong man. They need to be out there trying to get the person that did the killing and the shooting or whatever they did. But he was not the one.
Bradford is the only one who died at the scene. Both the 18-year-old and a 12-year-old girl caught in the crossfire survived and were taken to a hospital. And the initial report was that 2 men had gotten into a fight of some kind at the mall that resulted in those injuries. Police said Bradford was fleeing the scene and brandishing a weapon, and that's when a Hoover police officer working as mall security shot and killed him. Then overnight, Hoover police issued a statement saying Bradford may have been involved in some aspect of the altercation, but he likely did not fire the rounds that injured the 18-year-old victim. So if Bradford is not the one who shot the 18-year-old, there's someone out there who did. Police say they now believe there were more than 2 people involved in the initial fight, with at least 1 gunman still at large who could be responsible for the 18-year-old shooting victim, as well as the 12-year-old girl caught in the crossfire there. Hoover police would only confirm that the officer involved in this shooting is on administrative leave while they figure this out, Fred.
All right. Thanks so much, Natasha Chen. Appreciate it. All right, joining me right now from Birmingham, Alabama, a reporter for the Hoover Sun, John Anderson. All right, so John, what are you hearing from authorities there? I mean, obviously with shootings, there is a lot of confusion, but why do there seem to be so many conflicting reports here?
I think it was just a matter of what happened initially. This happened very quickly, and there was a press conference the night of the Thanksgiving night, just a couple of hours after the incident happened. And I believe, police gave out the information that they had at the time. From what police told me, that they believed then that the man that the police officers shot was indeed the shooter of the 18-year-old who was injured in the mall earlier. However, as has been indicated, after further investigation, they indicated they've reviewed further evidence, did more witness interviews, and also reviewed some of the key pieces of evidence and came to the conclusion that their initial findings were incorrect. They apologized for that and indicated that they are very interested in finding who the actual shooter was in that case.
And so now family members and people who knew 21-year-old Emantic Fitzgerald Bradford Jr. are saying they are desperately in need of information that would offer some clarity, especially now that Hoover police has said he was not, the alleged gunman. What more are you hearing from people who know Mr. Bradford about, the sequence of events and the kind of information and how what is being reported, how it sits with them?
I'm not sure how it sits with them necessarily, but initially that was the indication that he was the shooter. And what we don't know really is what happened with the interaction between the officer who fired the shot at Mr. Bradford and killed him, and the interaction between him and Mr. Bradford. Whether there was any warning, whether he followed proper protocols. And if there was any, we don't know what Mr. Bradford, all we understand, all they're saying is he was brandishing a gun as he was leaving the scene. They've not really given a lot of detail.
So police are saying he was showing, police are saying that, Bradford was showing the gun. They saw the gun out. When you say brandishing a gun, how are police describing that?
That's the exact word that they used, was brandishing. They didn't really elaborate whether he was holding it in the air or if it was just on him.
And then what about this altercation? I mean, police initially said there was an altercation. Do we know anything, any details about what that constitutes? What does that mean?
No, they have not really given a lot of details about that. From what all they've indicated is that there was this confrontation outside one of the stores in the common area of the mall. And that one of the people involved in that confrontation pulled a gun and shot the 18-year-old.
Okay.
We don't know, I guess, what the incident, what led to the shooting. That has not been disclosed in any way. Yeah.
Are you able to describe anything more about the protest, the unrest? People, have been expressing, their feelings about this. Has this been outside of the mall? Is this, outside the police station? Where is this happening?
I have not seen any physical protesting in terms of like people out at the mall or at the police department or anything of that nature.
Okay, we're looking at the videotape, and I'm wondering where that's taking place.
Which videotape?
We're watching it right now. You probably don't have the return, but a number of people have gathered. We understand it now as at the mall. What people are saying specifically.
Okay. I have not seen that videotape yet or been out at that today to that location, so I'm not aware of that protest.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Most of the comments I've seen have been comments online and on social media that people have had about it.
Okay. All right. John Anderson, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.